Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is the Wolf casting a game between JawZ, the red Protoss in the bottom left corner, and his opponent, I'll try pronouncing that in a second, the blue Protoss, the top right. First of all, this is a critique game. If you don't want to watch it to learn something and like to watch my casts because they're funny, this may not be a game for you. However, because you like to watch my games and you think I'm just so hilarious, you might want to watch it anyway. This opponent name is called LeKalaan. LeKalaan. Je suis LeKalaan. Oh, I do speak French. Whenever I speak French, which I try to never do, I'll put subtitles down there. Maybe. I'm kind of mean that way. LeKalaan is going for an interesting pylon placement, similar to my G23 build, which is also French, means the coffee. I'll try to do a video on it sometime, because I like that build. It was the one I built before I even started playing the game. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make the build first. JawZ sent me this replay and asked for critiquing, so I will explicitly critique him the most. Currently, I didn't pay attention to his probes, but I will just say this, if I missed it, you may have done this right. Usually you want to place down a 9 pylon for the most economic builds, and you need to scout your opponent around the 9 pylon to make sure that he isn't cheesing you, or something similar to that. Scouting around the 13 probe is also a more economic build, but also more dangerous, especially in Bronze League. Make sure that you save your chrono boosts up until you finish your 10 probe, and then your pylon should be done around that time. Use your chrono boosts to get the probes 11 and 12, 13 and 14 out as fast as possible. Usually your warp gate can go down around 13 or something. Honestly, I can't give you build orders very well because I don't know any. I just do everything by heart and memory and love and all that junk. So, however, there's a few things you should notice here when you're playing JawZ. Is the big one, your opponent currently is playing extremely defensively, and he's not interesting. That was actually kind of good if you could take advantage of that, not to say that you could or couldn't. There's a lot of things you can take advantage of in your opponent's base, not talking about your build orders currently. First of all, he's playing defensively. He intends to forge fast expand, however, this is a kind of bronze mistake. If you watched my game, I think it's 3, Ice Fang versus Apples, I did a correct usage of the Forge Fast Expand. Forge Fast Expand is extremely weak on this map and should not usually be attempted. The few things he did wrong, one, was place his pylon or his forge over here. Using a proxy pylon, you would be able to sneak around. You could put it down here and take out the single pylon, or you could just have pushed with a 2-gate zealot push, which generally the build in my mind kind of has a second gateway going down about the time your Cybernetics core does and pumping out zealots while you kind of tank slower. A 2-gate zealot push might be enough to stop this, but it would be enough to get through these backdoor rucks. G23 is really good at this map for that reason. However, you're currently teching up in a good way. Got the 2 zealots. Personally, I'm a big fan of zealots in all matchups, even if they're considered fairly worthless. Putting down your gateway, and you're sitting on top of your macro, which is really good. Spoiler alert, I do know that you lose this game, as you said, and so I'm kind of surprised that you're currently losing it. I think it might have just been an overall gameplay loss. You could have really taken advantage of this, though, is what I was trying to remember to say. Instead of building a proxy pylon down here, take advantage of that and build one up here. Your opponent didn't scout properly, or up here. Your opponent is not scouting properly. If you scout your pylon when it's still building, make sure to cancel it because it'll just destroy it in a few minutes. But warping in Dark Templar, zealots with a 2-gate, or just a general army mixture can really give you the edge and push through. Currently, your opponent is playing extremely defensively, and there's a big advantage to you for him doing that. Currently, your opponent can expand freely for his base. Pretty much. You could come in with a Void Rays or whatever. But realistically, your opponent is pretty safe to fast expand. However, you are also in a similar situation. You could freely fast expand as well. If you see your opponent over cannon, simply fast expand yourself. If you fast expand yourself, you'll be ahead, and you won't have to worry about spending all the minerals on the, what are they called? Nexus! Or cannons! Currently going for a 4-gate. Like I said, I don't know any build orders, but it seems like you're executing it pretty well. Heck, I don't know any build orders. I'm not going to comment on that. And, although I don't blame you for scout failing this, since it is behind cannons, have an observer or a phoenix. it would make sense for you to take advantage of when your opponent is expanding and attack him, as coincidentally you are. Luckily for your opponent, he sees that you're doing this, and well, this is probably the biggest mistake that you'll make in this game. You are attacking your opponent, which isn't unwise, but unfortunately he was able to see it. And once you get the first shot on your units, you need to back up immediately and start to push your advantage by expanding. Unfortunately, though, that's what I expect you not to do. Let's look at your base real fast. Robotics facility going down, which is really important and gives you the edge in PvP matches sometimes. You need to take the extra units over here and bunch them up together. Once you see your units being attacked by photon cannons on the high ground, you can bet that there will be more. With some good luck here, you might be able to push through, but it may be too much. How did you lose this game? Here it is. When you're in this position, don't... Okay, just kill them, I guess. You could also go for the pylons. Photon cannons have less health than pylons, though, so I can see why it would make sense to kill them. How do you lose this game? I thought you said you lost this game. I thought you were asking for critiquing. Are you just showing me a replay of somebody killing somebody? Gee. Oh well, I gave you the advice. It was actually your opponent could have used a lot more advice than you did. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and upload that though. I'll assume that you're being sincere, JawZ. Your name looks kind of familiar anyway. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching that, and I thank you for watching Raven Wolf Starcraft 2.